Everybody good? All right. Great scene up in Norfolk this past weekend. Loved having all the Pirate faithful up there and all the purple in the stands. I thought really, when we came out, you could hear our fans, you could hear the band. Really appreciate the band making the trip up there. And so it really made a difference and, made it not such a, hostile environment for our players, but really excited to be able to get the win. ODU's got a quality football team. We knew that. Very good defensively and, a high-powered offense. And, I just really pleased with, coming out of there, getting the win. And obviously, we have a lot of stuff that we can continue to correct and continue to clean up. But the one thing that I'm probably the most pleased with is, to start the season for, game 1 and game 2, just the intensity level, the effort, the energy, just the way our kids play. Very, very pleased with it. I think that it's something that we we did at times last year on one side of the ball, at times in past years, but you just really feel like we have an entire team right now that's doing that. Now we've got to execute better, and we got to cut some things out. And that's the challenge early in the season. I think we've seen that across the country in a lot of games. I've gotten to watch quite a few just either early in the day on Saturday or catching one on Friday night or catching it late night Saturday night. But just really pleased with the way the players are just committing themselves to being ready to play and going out and competing at a high level. So good to be in the position we're in. Obviously excited to be back home this weekend. It's going to be, a great weekend in Dowdy-Ficklin. Obviously a quality opponent coming in here. I know that they did not play very well this past weekend, and that Clemson team I saw on film, I don't know where they were against Georgia because it looked like a completely different team. But I do think, the first half you had App struggle and not play very well, which is uncharacteristic of them. And you had Clemson probably play flawless. And so Sean is an excellent football coach. He's done a great job up there. I know he'll get things fixed. I thought they looked really good against East Tennessee State in the opener. They have a quality football team. They have a lot of guys back from last year. I think they were picked to win the Sun Belt this year. So, we have a pretty stiff test coming this weekend. But I can promise the players, the coaches, we're very, very excited about it. I would think our fan base is very excited about it. And so, we should have a rocking stadium come 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon. Questions?
Coach, I wanted to ask you about the end of game sequence. Obviously you guys run it, punt it
Right.
back. A lot of faith shown in your defense, but also it starts with a punt.
Right.
How close was that? And then some of the smart inbounds tackling to make them run the clock.
Well, they got I don't know what the exact time was, probably just a touch under 3 minutes left to go when we got the ball back. And the one thing, you get burned on stuff, you learn from it, and you have experience to hopefully do a better job next time. We talked about we want to make sure we protected the edges of our offense. Wanted to do a good job right there of making ODU defend us right there. They had all 3 timeouts. Wanted to make sure that we didn't do something stupid, where we stopped the clock without them using a timeout. Now, I'll be honest, we had opportunities right there to get the first down, and I hate that we didn't. I would have loved to have had them burn all 3 timeouts, get a first down, get the clock under 2 minutes, and then kneel on it. That's what you want to do in that situation right there. But definitely didn't want to do something to give them timeouts left when they got the ball back. So I thought we did a good job of doing that. I thought Luke, I'll tell you, he had a great day Saturday. I think almost 44 yards net, something like 43 something per punt. But that one was definitely the biggest. They came with a pretty heavy rush. He did a great job getting it inside the 10. And then all of a sudden they're taking over low on time, no timeouts, and they've got to go 90-some yards. I thought we did a great job on the edges, keeping guys in bounds. not letting them stop the clock. I thought we didn't panic. Of course, we were able to save our timeouts, so I was able to use one when I thought we did get a little tired there. I thought our depth showed because a lot of guys we'd rotated throughout the game, so we were fairly fresh up front in the fourth quarter, and you were able to get guys in and out right there. And of course, I think not just on that drive, but I think the way we were able to get to the quarterback all night, he took a lot of hits Saturday night, and I think it kind of caught up with him there on that last drive. So great job by our defense getting the win. It was a great team win because we did a lot of things complimentary there. And obviously special teams was huge. Andrew Conrad, knocking down those 2 kicks in the second half was big. I would have liked to have gotten it where it wasn't, a touchdown beats us. But at least we got it where it wasn't a field goal beats us. They had to get it in the end zone there on that last possession.
Coach, you said in camp this was the best that you've seen Rajay going into a season in a long time,
Right.
and he clearly looked like it on Saturday. What were your thoughts on his performance, and how did he sing in the locker room after the game?
Well, he's obviously, ecstatic. I mean, he and I have spent a lot of time together over the last several years. Because of one thing or another, he just has not been as healthy as he was his freshman year. And, he's a kid that's just super positive, just super positive energy, great leadership. He's also a very smart kid, and he's very hard on himself. And so really excited for him that he went out and, able to pop those 2 runs. And both of them, and, we talked about it, you're going to have to break some tackles. And on both of them, he broke a tackle to spring the run. And I was also honest with him that I think that he left some yards out there too, which I thought our offensive line at times played really, really well Saturday night. I'm telling you, we have a chance to be pretty good up front this year. And I think we're getting better and better. And I thought that they created opportunities for all the backs to get positive yardage in the run game. But excited for him.
Coach, when you looked at the tape, what did you see in Jake's performance? Obviously, the good and the bad, but was some of that routes, was some of that decision-making with Jake Garcia?
Well, I think it's a little of both. I mean, he made some incredible throws. And I'll tell you what, he keeps our offense aggressive. And I think that he allows us to be extremely explosive. He made some mistakes where he forced a few things, and it's the thing that we're working with him that you don't have to hit the home run on every throw, and you don't have to force things. We have a good defensive football team. We have good specialists. It's okay to throw the check down. It's okay to throw it away. He wants us to be explosive every play, and he will continue to improve. He will continue to play better. But he did a lot of really good things too on Saturday, and he is very hard on himself. He's determined to make sure that he cuts out the negative plays. But the one thing is, those receivers, those linemen, that defense, they believe in him because they've seen what he can do. So I think you're going to continue to see a better version of him each time he goes out.
Coach, just curious, when you look at the game as a whole, at a time when ACC schools in the state are kind of avoiding these away games, how important is it to schedule a game like App State and have a series with them in in-state rivalry?
Well, let's start with a regional game against ODU. I think games like that are good for our fan base. I think they're good for both schools. It's hard to win games on the road. That's what was so special about Saturday is you weren't perfect. Okay, you went into another team's environment where they felt like they had to win that game and came at you with their best shot, and you got out of there with a win. So I think those games like that are good for us. I think this series against Appalachian State, Sean and I have talked about it, that I think this is good for both programs. I think it's good for the state of North Carolina. They obviously have a great history, and I've been close. Coach Moore and I were close. It's a great deal between two schools that are passionate about football. You got a lot of schools in this state that, they might not be passionate about football. They have a football program, but, at East Carolina, it's passion. Our fan base, this region, they're passionate. Same thing in Boone. And so you have two schools that have that. When they get together, it's probably going to be pretty good game, and pretty high emotions, and a great matchup. And so I think it's good, and I think Sean and the Appalachian State people think it's good too. So I'd love to see it continue.
Coach, looking back at Saturday, obviously you mentioned there were turnovers and mistakes you can correct. But when it does get tough, what is the ability to kind of win ugly when it gets mucked up? What does that show you about kind of the character of your guys?
Well, I think it says a lot. I think it says a lot about our team unity. We talked about that last week. I said, you're going to see adversity Saturday. I said, you didn't see much in the opener. You're going to have adversity Saturday because we're facing a quality opponent. We're on the road. And I thought they stuck together really good. We didn't have any breakdowns on the sideline from, just people losing their head or anything like that. And at the end of the year, all you're going to look at is a W. You can go back to, when I was at JMU and the year we won the national championship, we won 3 or 4 ugly games. I mean, we won against William and Mary. William and Mary was sub 500 that year. We went 14-1, and we won an ugly game at home at JMU. And you're going to have games like that, and you got to win them. And if you can win them consistently, it gives you a chance to have a special season.
I know Aguilar did probably play how he wanted to against Clemson, but he's had such a good run there at App and has obviously played well against you guys in the past. So what do you see from him on field in that offense?
I think he's improved from last year. Obviously, last year he was very early in his career at App. Ended up being the newcomer of the year in the Sun Belt. I thought he played really, really well against East Tennessee State. I thought he had moments against Clemson. But I think he has improved over last year. Obviously, he has a very experienced receiving core. Caden Robinson, one of the better receivers in the Sun Belt. Mekhi Jackson and Christian Horn both have game-breaking speed. I think Horn had maybe an 80-yard touchdown against East Tennessee State. Jackson had a reverse for about 50 yards for a touchdown. So both of them have, that big playability. He's got 2 really, really good running backs there in Roberts and Castle. And so he has a lot of weapons, but I think he is a much improved operator. Did a real good job in the zone read game against East Tennessee State. They're going to do a lot of stuff off of their run game because they do run that stretch zone play so well. So I think he's a really good player. I think it's going to be a challenge.
I think Shabam's thrown out like 9, 10, or 11 times.
Yeah.
To you, so I guess he's kind of happy to get tested a little bit.
Yeah, he is, and the interception he made was probably the toughest one to possibly make, and so I'm glad he finally broke the ice there and got that one. They went at him, but they went at him because of what we were doing with him. We were playing some press coverage with him into the boundary. In this offense, a lot of times that tells you to take the shot. And so, they didn't hesitate to take the shot right there. And, he did a really good job defending it. The one touchdown that we gave up, he actually ran into Mike. And we got to work to make sure that, our spacing over there into the boundary is such that we don't pick ourselves right there, because that ended up on the busted play and the quarterback scrambling around, ended up giving them an open receiver down the field and 7 points.
Any other questions? Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thanks a lot.